banking aspirants, the much awaited SBI PO 2026 notification is out. This time, SBI has released a total of 1500 vacancies, which is 3 times the vacancies of last year, that was 541. So let's take a look at the important details of this notification. Let's take a look at some important dates. The online registration starts from 18th June to 8th July. The exam is conducted in 3 phases. The first phase, the online preliminary examination, will be conducted in August. The mains exam would be conducted in September. And the psychometric test, interview and group exercises will be conducted in October-November. After all of this, the final results would be declared on November-December. Now moving on to the vacancies, as I mentioned earlier, there's a total of 1500 vacancies. Out of that, for general category, there's a total of 588 vacancies. For EWS, that is 144. For OBC, it is 390. For ST, it is 144. And for SC, it is 234. As we're on the topic of vacancies, let's take a look at the vacancy trends of previous years. In 2024, the vacancies were 600, which became 541 in 2025. Now coming on to the present year, it is 1500. So that is almost 3 times the jump from the previous year. So it is a great opportunity for all banking aspirants. Now moving on to emoluments, the starting basic pay of an SBI PO is 48,480. The approximate CTC would be around 22 lakhs. Now, if you do get selected, you would have to execute a bond with the bank of around 2 lakhs to serve the bank for a minimum period of 3 years. If you do resign before these 3 years, the bond will be invoked by the bank. Now let's focus on the eligibility criteria. First is the age limit. The candidate must be between 21 and 30 years, and there is relaxation for certain categories. That is for OBC, there's a relaxation of 3 years. For SC/ST, it is 5 years. For PWD, general category and EWS, it is 10 years. For PWD OBC category, it is 13 years. For PWD SC/ST category, it is 15 years. And for ex-servicemen, it is 5 years. Now, going on to the academic qualifications, you must be a graduate in any discipline from a recognized university. Now, even if you're in your last year of university or in your last semester, you can apply with the condition that at the time of interview, you must have graduated. Now, coming to the number of chances, for general category and EWS, that's a total of 6 chances. For OBC and PW categories, it is a total of 9 chances. And for SC/ST categories, there is no restriction. Now, we look at the selection procedure. As I mentioned earlier, there's a total of 3 phases. First is the preliminary examination. And in the prelims, there are 3 sections. First is English with a total of 40 questions for 40 marks with a duration of 20 minutes. Then is Quantitative Aptitude, where there will be 30 questions for 30 marks for a timing of 20 minutes again. Then is Reasoning Ability, 30 questions, 30 marks, again 20 minutes. So that would be a total of 1 hour. That is the timing for the prelims, where there will be a total of 100 questions for 100 marks. Something to keep in mind is that there will be no sectional cutoff for the prelims exam. Now, the prelims exam is qualifying in nature, and after you qualify the prelims, you move on to the mains exam, where there's a total of 230 marks. Now, how is this split up? So, first would be an objective test. So, what would be in the objective test? So, we have a total of 4 sections. First is Reasoning and Computer Aptitude with 40 questions for 60 marks with a timing of 50 minutes. Then is Data Analysis and Interpretation, where there will be 30 questions from that sector for 60 marks for 45 minutes. Then is General Awareness, Economy and Banking Knowledge, where there will be 60 questions for 60 marks, timing of 45 minutes. Then is English, where 40 questions, 20 marks for 40 minutes. So that would constitute a total of 3 hours for the objective test with a maximum of 200 marks. So there will be 170 questions for 200 marks. Then we have descriptive paper with topics such as emails, situation analysis, either reports writing or precise writing. So that would be 3 questions for a total of 30 marks with a duration of 30 minutes. So the objective test would be of 200 marks and the descriptive paper would be of 30 marks. Now, I mentioned earlier that there is no sectional cutoff for the prelims exam, but as we move on to the mains, there is sectional cutoff. That is, for all the individual sections, you would have to score a minimum qualifying mark. And on top of that, you would also have to clear a general overall cutoff, that is overall minimum qualifying marks that you have to get. And there will be negative marking, that is 1/4 mark will be deducted for every wrong answer. But there will be no penalties for any unanswered questions. As you qualify the mains, you move on to phase 3, that is psychometric test, group exercises and personal interview. In psychometric test, they do your personality profiling. Then we move on to group exercise, where you would have 3 to 4 candidates and you will be given a certain topic to discuss about. That is for 20 marks. And then your interview would be conducted by 4 to 5 panelists for a total of 30 marks, which would constitute a total of 50 marks for the group exercise and personal interview. Now let's take a look at the cutoff trends of previous year. For prelims, for general category in 2025, it was 66.75. In 2024, it was 61.75 and so on, as you can see. For mains exam, for general category in 2025, it was 75. In 2024, 87.5 and so on. Now, moving on to the syllabus. In English, there will be questions based from vocabulary, grammar, reading, comprehension, clause test and so on, as you can see on the screen. In reasoning, there will be topics from miscellaneous subjects such as alphanumeric and number series, different types of puzzle questions and seating arrangement questions. For quants, the syllabus includes speed maths questions like simplification and approximation, arithmetic topics like ratio and proportion, averages, and data interpretation like pie charts, bar graphs, and stuff. Now, for general awareness, the syllabus would include banking awareness topics like banking basics, financial and monetary concepts, current affairs that would include national, international, banking and economy affairs, and state-wise current affairs, and other static GK. Now, as I mentioned earlier, for the descriptive paper, it would include topics such as emails, in which you would be given 2 options and you have to select one. Then situational analysis, same 2 options, you can choose one, and you would be given either reports writing or precise writing. Any one out of the 2 options you can select. So there would be, as I mentioned earlier, 3 questions for 30 marks with a timing of 30 minutes. And the word limit would be 130 to 150 marks. For your successful preparation, IBS provides offline and online classes, study materials, computer lab facility, library facility, our videos available through the IBS Vigyan app, recorded classes and weekly online mock tests. For admission related queries, you can contact us on these numbers, and for more such informative content, subscribe to our channel.